Hello. Hi, everyone. Apologies for the late start and lack of a countdown. The page had frozen, but it didn't look like it had frozen, and it had not made me live. I've been rabbiting on for like 3 minutes. Hi, everyone. We're going to play The Pursuit of Happiness. Let me know if you can see me and hear me okay. Which I did say a couple of minutes ago, and then I got carried away chatting about Pursuit of Happiness. So we are going to be playing this with all of its expansions and most of its promos and mini expansions and things all turned on at once, and we'll see how that goes. I have not played it like this before. I have played it at most with two of the expansions because the third hadn't come out yet last time I played. You can see that stream actually. Oh, it was a recorded video because we did a handheld option for the anniversary. Yeah, and I did one way back when the game not very first came out. Although I think my board's a little bit different, and my box is definitely a bit different. If you see the picture in the thumbnail and stuff, it's got components in the lid. Look at that. That's my cover. It's not the cut back to the stuff. It's not that one. That's what the original edition of it looked like. I think they might have changed the board slightly, some of the graphics on it. I'm not too sure though. I know that they did completely change all the cards and stuff and gave them more art in line with all the expansions they did later and stuff. And I remember back in a Kickstarter, I think I did a very early video about that, about the differences in that upgrade pack. But anyway, yes, I have been playing this game for many a year. I love this game. This is, I'd say, up there with one of my most favourite games. It is a tell the story of your life kind of game, and I'm sure there are loads that I haven't played yet, but of the games that I have played, it is head and shoulders the best of the tell a story of your character's life games. And the expansions just kind of like a lot of it is just adding stuff to the decks. Some add like the main big expansions and things add their own boards and their own like little quirks and tokens and things. We will get into all of it. I'll explain everything that I'm doing as I'm doing it. But yeah, if this looks a bit much, you're like, well, what's just the game like? I've done one with just the base game in the past. If you'd like to check that one out, and you could just, if I ever do anything on here, don't worry about that stuff because the main expansions, there is the community expansion. It has to do with doing things in the community, and you want to be popular in the community. And there is the experiences expansion where we can plan out experiences and then hopefully fulfill those plans. And we can dream, we can get cards that we wouldn't normally have access to this early in the game, get some resources for it, and bank points on there if we do them later. And there is the nostalgia expansion, which does not have its board, but it's a load of kind of goals that you can set for yourself. Hey James, am I coming through okay? I don't know if anyone's going to watch. Is anyone bothered about the Pursuit of Happiness anymore? There are 7 people about. Maybe there'll be more later. I don't know. I'm not normally here on a Friday night. All of the other nights were busy. But hey, if there's a more popular board game being streamed tonight, it's probably not a better one, is what I reckon. So yeah, the nostalgia one gives you a load of things to aim for, and then you can flip over and you can get some extra projects and things for later on in the game. There is a lot of stuff in this. So what we'll be doing is starting out as teens and then round by round, growing up, having some adult rounds, maybe get into old age. You take a lot of stress as you enter each round of old age to the point where the last round of old age is absolutely going to be your last. Because we have this stress track here that determines how many hourglasses we get, how many actions we get to do. And yeah, eventually the game will force you to die, unfortunately. The way of life. And we want to try and earn the most lifetime happiness before that happens. So the solo game, we go into my player area here, my kind of shrunk down player area because of all of this stuff everywhere. You draw 3 of these goals, and you can see in the main bit in the middle, these are point scoring opportunities for the end of the game. So focused, have the least resources combined when you die, and you'd get 3 points for that. In the solo game, we ignore the main stuff that's on each of the cards, and we're just concerned with this solo game part at the bottom. So we have these goals that we must fulfill to win. And so we want to have at most 2 books, 2 ideas, 2 influence, 2 handshakes when you die. We need to raise a family with a partner, so we need to be in a relationship with someone and choose that option later on. And done it all, participate in at least 5 activities, which you can see there's out of the item stroke activity cards, they are solid green at the bottom and they say activity if they're activities. And yeah, so we need to do that. And if we were just playing the base game, we would need to score 50 points, 50 lifetime happiness. 2 of the expansions, I can't remember which ones exactly, 2 of the expansions add 10 points each to that total, and 1 of them adds 5 points. So essentially, we need to score 75 points and complete all of those goals to call this a win. What else do we have here? We have an inheritance card. This was one of the Kickstarter promo packs, which I've realised in setting this up and sorting it all out for the first time in ages and ages, that I haven't got one of the Kickstarter promo. I haven't got Kickstarter promo pack 2. Can I resist not being a completionist anymore and just leave it as it is? It just about fits in the tiny box. So Grandma Rosie would like me to have a kid. Like, if I can do this by the time Grandma Rosie passes away and we read her will, you see how this happens in the upkeep phase of rounds, then I can get 3 points and 6 money from that inheritance. But I need to have a child. I have 2 cards here that are child trait cards, and these are going to determine potentially special abilities we'll get throughout the game and our starting resources. So, as a child, we could either have been a haggler. The first time you buy I'll start again. The first time you buy an item or activity in a round, pay 1 less to a minimum of 1. Well, we want to do at least 5 activities, so that's tempting. Or Achiever, you don't pay any resources to complete the level 1 of projects. So that's a load of saving of other resources, but I think we want to do 5 activities. I mean, roller skating right now costs you 2, so we've halved that. And it doesn't matter which level you're doing, just the first time you're participating in something. The activity cards, I will be kind of flicking through the combined rulebook every now and then to make sure I'm doing all of the upkeep steps and things. Paul is streaming Coming of Age right now. Coming of Age? That's thematically similar in it. It was actually playing Coming of Age. I mean, I love Danny Garcia as a designer and love many of his games. I enjoyed playing Coming of Age, but one of my main takeaways of that Coming of Age stream was that I really want to play Pursuit of Happiness. I would really prefer that in the future. And hey, here we are. Hey, Omar, how's it going? Yeah, you can't comment on the live streams. It's just a spam thing. It's just put in the. You need to subscribe for a minute to be able to put a message, just because it completely stops all of the spam bots if you do that. So yeah, I'm tempted to go for Haggler over Achiever, which means I'm going to start off with 3 books, 2 ideas, 3, say, influence. So that's one of your decisions at the start of the game, and we have got some other things to think about. So we have these nostalgia cards. You get 8 of them at the start of the game, and this is all you're ever going to get. And they've got many steps to them, but their first kind of thing to get them started is you need to perform certain actions on the board. Even if you've got many that have the same requirements, you've got to do it, separate times to get it to activate. So we want to do certain actions out on the board to get these to start, and we can try and make these dovetail in with your goals that we're going for. Some of them, I think one of them has got like a If we go for a class reunion, one of them's got a little ongoing thing. If we do calligraphy here, the end of the action phase, gain an idea resource. Of course, at the end of the game, get 3 points if you have at least 5 money and 5 of each resource remaining. Well, that goes against one of our lifetime goals, so probably not going to go for family heritage out of the 8 things. There are a few things kind of bubbling about. Oh, you subscribed for a video meant for kids. Oh, I wonder if I've got that checked on one of my videos by accident. I'm just catching up on chat. Hey, David, how's it going? Mr. President, I kind of Mr. President seems like one of those where like I like the idea of it, but I think the practicalities of me actually getting chance to learn it properly and do it justice, I don't know. But if there is enough demand for it, I could be persuaded with not too much of it really. Everyone getting therapist, just play coming of age, trying to decide. We've just mentioned that because yeah, I enjoyed coming of age. It is very different. Like thematically, it is the same thing of telling a story of your life, and it has got that in the game. Although some choices that have been made to make it language independent have removed any it's like if all of these cards didn't have any of the titles and stuff on there, and just had the same art. Like it's a bit unfair because like I said they're very different mechanically, but they're in the same kind of like ballpark for theme. But yeah, my takeaway was like I loved so many of Danny Garcia's games. I enjoyed playing Coming of Age, definitely. You can see in the stream, but by the end of it, I was thinking I really want to play Pursuit of Happiness again soon. And it's been a bit, but I've managed it in the end. It has got so many expansions, and to be fair as well, you don't need any of them. There's so much like just in the base game. Like sure the decks of cards aren't ridiculous just in the base game, but that's all I had for quite a while and played it loads of times. Probably like as is the way with board games, I've probably played it more times when it was just the base game than I've had chance to since I've got more and more expansions and things. But I do really like the different things that the expansions do. I'm finally catching up. Playing Pursuit of Happiness brings almost the most happiness from board games, I think. Hey Tim, how's it going? In Australia? Good morning. What's it like in the future? The goal must be get married, have a daughter, and get a cat. It may very well be. There is a Rachel in the partners deck, and there are pets in the items and activities deck. Like I don't know if a cat is in the particular promo packs that I've got because let's say I've realised in setting up this everything stream that I'm missing one of the promo packs and I thought I had everything. But if you have almost all of the promos and expansions, this is the item and activity deck. It is huge. It's the biggest deck. But yeah, there's a lot of shuffling with all of this stuff going on. Those are the projects. And there's just so many little decks and things. And like I say, I'm not including everything. I can't remember if this is in the stream that didn't start, or I have said this already in this stream, but I'm not playing with trends that are kind of more endgame goals for having certain types of cards. I'm not playing with events. It's cool events because it's not just flip a card and everyone suffers or gets a benefit. You have a round to kind of, you either need to do something to qualify or avoid the punishments, depending on if it's a good or bad event card. So you've got some time to deal with it. I'm not putting that on right now. And there are a couple of mini expansions that are themed. There's an Out of This World that is kind of wacky sci-fi things. And there is I can't remember what it's called, but there's like a Life of Crime, one where you can be gangsters and stuff like that. I haven't put those in there, probably because like I don't know if I'd want them in there all the time. It'd just be a pain taking them out. Maybe we'll do another stream where we'll chuck those in and make those be the main cards. But there is a lot on here. So what do we need to do? We can skip all of the kind of upkeep and preparation stuff for the first round because you did it in the setup. We have action spaces on the main board here. We are teens. We have 6 hourglasses. We know that because we are in this middle stress bit here. The more stressed that you get, that's this black cloud here. The more stress that you'll get, you will move into territories that get you fewer and fewer hourglasses. If you should gain stress when you are here, you will die and be out of the game. So you've got to manage your stress. You could, on the other hand, get these heart symbols that are harder to come by. Having said that, if you become an Olympic level ice skater, there's a heart available on the board right now. But yeah, that's what can get you the other way, get you more hourglasses, and hopefully keep you alive longer into more old age rounds. So the actions that we can take. These here, study, play, interact, and temp job, are basically get resources. So we've seen the resource that I started with in the game. There's also money. You need to get a temp job to start off with some money, because my card didn't give me any. And you get 3 of any of the resources by going on one of these actions. You take actions by placing your hourglasses. It's also how you do actions on cards and things. It's worker placement, but you're never blocked off by other people's workers. You're not even blocked off by your own workers. If you should go to a place where you've already been, though, you will take a stress. So you might want to avoid that. So we can do all of these things. We can take a project. So these actions here tend to be about taking the cards from the display. There are a few different types of projects that we'll get into, but a lot of them you'll start at like the lowest level. A lot of the cards are pay to get the card. Here's the reward in this column here. We've got a couple of group projects that are a bit different. We can spend our money on items and activities. As I say, I think pets are mixed in here as well. And later on, these actions are not available in your teenage round, but you can get a job and you can get into a relationship. These card rows are normally in the base game empty in the teen round because you can't do those actions. But we can plan experiences. Zoom in on some of these boards. There is a requirement to plan an experience at the top of each of the cards. But once you've done it, you can take the card over and later do actions to actually fulfill that plan. So it's another thing that we can't do in this teen round. So why is it all out here? Because of the dream action. So you can take, if you go to the dream action, any one of these types of cards, which pretty much like all of the things. So the 4 that are out on the main board and an experiences card. You could take one of these and make it one of your life's dreams. We've got a little board here with 3 spaces for cards. So I can't get a job as a teenager. I can't get into a relationship yet, but I could dream about one of those things. Like maybe my dream job comes up. I can take the card, put it over here. Depending which slot I put it in, I can get a resource. And in every upkeep phase, we put tokens on these cards. And if we should finally get those cards later on and buy them from there, then we will get points for every one of those tokens that's on there. So you can kind of bank on things later and get extra points for doing it later as well. We can come over to the other expansion things. You can participate in things in the community. And as well as our hourglasses, we have a couple of things that are... This is for the experiences board. So it works like an hourglass, but it doesn't cause you stress if it's on there as well as an hourglass. So you've basically got a chance to dream for free in the teen round because you can't do the normal things with this. So in the community, we can do something on the top of one of these cards. Sometimes there's a cost involved, sometimes there isn't. And at the end of the round, we will get to resolve that. So we could choose to spend some time admiring a street artist. There's no cost for that. We would get some ideas for that. And then at the end of the round, we can choose one of these outcomes. So we could just walk on by, no cost, but no reward. Or we could choose to pay some money and get some rewards, or more money and better rewards. You can also place hourglasses on here, but you need to increase your popularity to be able to do that. And popularity will earn you points throughout the game as well. And the last thing that we can do is start a friendship. So this was another like promo thing. To be friends with these people, they've got requirements. So you can't just make friends with anybody. So have at least 2 activities. I mean, Farida, maybe that's a good friend to have. But if you can make them your best friend, you will get benefits every round from them. And there is a restriction for job, partner, and project. You only have 3 slots of them. So it's good to have a lot of things gaining you things that don't take up your slots. So we should think about getting some money to do some activities, because we could potentially get 2 activities this round, make friends with Farida. Could even become best friends and get stuff in the future. It's like a repeatable action you can do there. It might be worth thinking about. I get my thing with all of my icons on the front. Someone put it on the back of this rulebook. Nope. The main consolidated rulebook. Oh, there it is. So having a way to relax would be nice. Relax brings you to the left on the stress track, but you can't enter a new section of it. So we want to do a load of activities. We want to get into a relationship in the future. To be in relationships with any of these people, again, these are just like plans that we can have because you can't get into a relationship at the moment. So Sherry would like you to have at least 5 book tokens. Just have them, not spend them. I'm in the way a bit there, aren't I? Leaning the wrong way as well. Miranda, have at least 1 arts or culture project initiated. If we look higher up at them, they've got little letters in the corner that tells you, so how to play the piano. There's an arts project. Brianna, have a level 1 or higher social job. There is. We could be a civil servant. That's a social job. So potentially planning these things out, we could maybe do it. Being in a relationship gives you cost as well. It takes time to do a load of these things. Time for your job, time to do projects, time to be in relationships. But you will get rewards for paying these upkeep costs as well. And Leanne here, Leanne, only has 1 level. So you can't get into you can only date her. You can't get into a serious relationship. You need to have an athletic and performing arts career job. Will cause you to relax every round and gain a point. And I should say as well, all of the job cards are double-sided. So like similar things, but you've got options on the other side. And you can just choose which side you want. They're basically identical, other than the title and the picture. And all of the relationship cards are like, most of them are double-sided with male and female on the other side, but some of them, I think from like the most recent one, there are like what word am I searching for? Non-binary. There we go. Couldn't think of the word then. So yeah, there's loads of stuff that has come through all of the expansions, and I think a load of stuff for like inclusion as well. So we can think about that. Always tempting to get a board game collection, just because. Why not? Why not just stick to reality? So what shall we actually do then and spend these tokens? Because we could dream about something if we want to. Oh, Miranda is a single mother. So dating her gets you a kid card. So we could kind of satisfy the inheritance right away. We don't know when it's going to pay off. But we would have to go into the learn to play the piano project. Or we could just date. It's a thing for the future still, because you're just dreaming of it. Have 5 books is probably doable. I've got 3 right now. It'd only take an action in the future if I don't burn through all of these. Maybe I want to take on a social job. It'd be nice to take an arts job on. But we don't have to do any of these. Like, they could get cleared out later. You can spend points to refresh card rows as well. We want to do activities though, don't we? So we're going to need some money. So I think I need to get a temp job. So that's going to get me 3 money. And that would normally just be it. But we've got our nostalgia cards here. So for performing the temp job action, we could put any one of these into play. So you kind of, this is you in the future reminiscing about something you did in your teen years. So meet your idol, flower gardening, SAR volunteer, and calligraphy. So the things that we can pop out. In the future, we can do an action, spend some resources to pop a check mark on it, and then we get access to do the bottom action on it, and then it will flip and become a card in our area that we can upgrade and spend things on later as well. So I like the idea of doing some meet your idol, do theatre play reviews. We could get further and further into meeting this celeb. We could get really into calligraphy. I do quite like the idea of that, and I like the idea of toning down any stress that we get. It gives us more opportunity to take stressful options if we've got ways of relaxing later on. I think I got into some calligraphy as a teen. So put a little, we've done the temp job board action. I can put this into play and I get myself a handshake there, an influence. And I can choose to come back here and spend 2 ideas to relax a bit, but I won't need to do that very, very soon. So I've had me 3 money. So I think it's time. Do we gain stress from things? Because I've just seen that roller skating calms you down as well. And I can't calm down because you can't go into another section yet. We've got things that loses short-term happiness. Having good short-term happiness makes projects cheaper. Having bad short-term happiness makes them more expensive. So when you see the little green smiley face, just one makes you happier, -1 gives you, like, takes away your short-term happiness. We could enter a pumpkin contest and get some popularity. Oh, but I don't think we can have that card, actually, because any time in the solo game there are cards that talk about having the most of something. You can't have that card. So there's a beach party that we could go for and get some short-term happiness. And we could get some popularity from that. It'd cost a load of books. But that's something that we could go for. I've just gained some influence. So maybe it would be good to go for a New Year's celebration. I can pop my community token on this. So there's no cost for us to engage in the card. Happy New Year. I get a short-term happiness, so I can discount the cost of the resources of a project by 1 this round. That will keep resetting. Stress doesn't reset. And then we get to choose an outcome of it later on. And hopefully, we'll have the resources to choose 3 influence and 2 money. And we could gain some popularity and start being able to do more in the community and get more happiness from doing it. That would be quite nice. But we want to do activities. But a lot of these activities calm you down when I don't have any stress yet. Well, there is another thing that I can do with the school. So this is only for the teen round, and it's covering actions that we can't take yet. We can come to the school, and we would get to choose specific jobs. Scrolling to the bit in the rules to make sure I'm getting it right. You can look through the pile of school jobs and projects. It takes one of your hourglasses to go on here, but there is a specific pile for school-based jobs and projects, and you can go through these and take one of each or just one or the other if you want. And they're jobs that you get promoted in automatically. They're all on the same card, but they get you stressed by going up in them, and they just kind of, you get better at them automatically, and you can get degrees in things, go to school in things, and when you get jobs of those types, then they're cheaper for you. Like when you get we could go to art and design school, pay to study now, but once we get the degree, which costs a bit of stress, whenever you get an arts job in the future, you can pay 2 less. And it's basically that for loads of the types of things. Like you could go to art and design school or music school, but we don't know that certain things are going to come out. So that's kind of banking on, like, oh, I'm going to go to music school and hope for an arts career. But I suppose, like in real life, it might not happen like that. But it's kind of tempting. It costs money, though, of course, as going there would. And it's more expensive to go to music school than it is to go to art and design school. So that's tempting. I don't know that I'd want to get a job from here because they kind of just decide for you. And I like the normal way of getting promoted and stuff. But it says we could go to school and get a degree. So I think, like with roller skating, when you take an activity on, you don't have to go for the bottom thing. You can choose any of the levels of it. You don't upgrade them later on. But we could choose to pay 4, which would be discounted to 3. I'd get 3 influence and 2 lifetime happiness, 2 points right now. But it would wipe out my money. We could go on a cheap picnic just a couple of fruits later, and I would kind of ignore the relax benefit, I suppose. And you can see all of the various like little initials of the different packs that all of this stuff came out of. Like we could earn some money by like going and being a waiter in a restaurant. Yeah, having money, as you might expect as a teen, having money, like not having the money holds you back a little bit. So we could of course just take the cheaper option and we just ignore the relaxed benefit because we haven't taken any stress yet because we're just teens. What are we stressed about? And we could get this one discounted a little bit. We could make short-term happiness really high up. Of course, if you want 2 activities, you've got to spend twice, and that's going to get you stressed. But then you can relax it. Perfect. So yeah, let's go roller skating. And we'll take the cheap option. So the roller disco is only going to cost 1 because it's the first item or activity in a round. So it costs me 1 of my 3 money. This doesn't take up you've got item slots for, you've got slots for project, stroke job, stroke partner. You've got 3 slots for any combination of those things. But all your activities and items and stuff don't take up those slots. So we have done roller skating at the roller disco, and that's going to get me an idea and an influence, another short-term happiness, so big potential discounts for things, and we can relax, but we're at minimum stress. So then, do they refill straight away? Activity cards, play spot card on that level. It must say all of that somewhere else if you replenish things. Because I know you replenish these boards straight away. I'm not sure. We'll have a look at that in a moment. Just thinking, so if we take the stress to go to a picnic, because we're repeating an action again, we can do we cheap out? So do you want money for the party? That wants me to have 3 influence and 2 money. So maybe I just go for, we just have a basic picnic, just a couple of fruits at a picnic, and that's just going to get me an idea, and I get to relax, move my stress 1 left, as long as it's not going into a new section. So I think that's a good start. So we could now make friends with Farida. Yeah, I'm just doing stuff. Is there a nostalgia card for doing the spend action? I don't think there is. Interact and play, so the gain resource actions, I think. So we could make friends with Frida over here. Our requirement is have at least 2 activities. We do. I've been roller skating and in a picnic in my teens, and so we get 1 lifetime happiness. 74 to go. Not too shabby to start with, and we've got 2 out of 5 activities. We need to work on getting a partner later on. I think. I know in the upkeep phase we move cards along. Yeah, you draw a new card to replace it. It's in a different bit of the rules. Activity, you could go camping. We could get a smartphone, a Nokia, and get a load of influence tokens. So this stuff's kind of spoken for by my all-night party. We've still got loads of ideas. We've got loads of books and things. I was thinking about learning how to play the piano. Just because right now, we've got a 2 discount on projects from our short-term happiness. And it seems a bit of a shame to waste them. Check I'm doing the short-term happiness right. I suppose we could do a... So let's have a look at the projects. So a group project, someone initiates it, and you can do up to 2 roles, I think. But in a multiplayer game, someone would initiate it and it would be out, and someone else could join as the other job. So I could be a chef by spending these things and getting these things, but someone else could join in and say they're going to be a greeter or a waiter. And depending on how many people participate in it, people get rewards at the bottom based on how many hourglasses are on the card. So you want to get a project that a load of people want to join in. So we could get a discount on some of these things. Like we could do some work and get some money. Learn how to play the piano. We could basically, it would be the last 2 actions of our teenage life. But there's a lot of long-term happiness for learning to play the piano. We could get a few points right now. Could, of course, like, I don't know if I want to... Because if we take stress to spend again and do another activity, we don't need to race to do loads of them, I suppose. But like you can kind of offset the stress you get from taking more on. I suppose it might make more sense doing a one-off discounted thing that would get you some stuff. So I've got 3 books. So you could say discount by... I've got 3 books and 2 influence there. So you could say be a waiter and we'll get the discount on something. Oh, but we want to make friends, don't we? We've got Farida over here. She's just an acquaintance right now. But I don't think I might be zoomed out. I'm zoomed out a lot because of like all of the different extra boards and things. But in real life, at least, the icons are fine, I think. Hey, Mike, how's it going? Have you not experienced the pursuit of happiness yet? I'm very happy to introduce you to it, or anyone who's seeing this for the first time. I hope my slow play... I have included many, many things for a game I haven't played for a couple of years, but it'll be okay. So we can spend our hourglass to do a card action. So at the moment, we're just an acquaintance with Farida. She's seen us doing these activities, but we could become close friends if we are willing to spend a study and an influence, which I am. We get 2 lifetime happiness, so all from our friend at the moment. We need to replenish the friends, don't I? And you can make multiple friends. There are more people out here. You can make friends with Ivy right now. So you can see, like, going up the different levels of the card, pay a cost, get a reward for it. So I've now got myself my first upkeep. So I have to pay this at the start of every future round. I need to pay a study and an influence to get a lifetime happiness. I can as many times as I want throughout the game. I can do the best friend action, pay these costs, so this means it's repeatable, to get a relax and 3 points. So that's another thing that I've got. But I can pay the upkeep right now. If you ever can't pay the upkeep, you lose the thing. So that's with a load of stuff. It's with your jobs, it's with your partners, it's with projects don't carry over. There's upkeep for having items, like having a board game collection. You might just think, oh, I can afford a wall of board games, but as we all know, inevitably there is upkeep at the start of every round. As you get further and further into adulthood, you're going to keep buying more board games, and so there's an upkeep cost for having these things as well. Like, you might really want a rare jukebox, but maintaining that thing, getting more records for it. Oh, this is such a good game. Right. Hashtag not sponsored. I've been sent some of these expansion-y things, but I've also bought many things for this game and backed various Kickstarters. I didn't back the big box. I do like that's one of the things that, like, I can just about cram this into the original box. I was thinking as I was shuffling them, there's a little bit of like, if you're, I bet if the big box sometimes comes up fairly cheap on Facebook groups. I've been tempted, but I need to keep my boxes as small as possible so I can have more games. There's a bit of like, oh, that card back is slightly different color to that card back from promos and various printings that I've got. I was thinking when I was finding it difficult to shuffle a few of the things, like, I'd really like to just be mashing these in sleeves, but how are they going to fit in the box then if I do that? Right, we've got 1 hourglass left. We've also got our experience token, which I can only use to dream about something. So what would I like to dream about? So I would just like an arts job anyway. We could still go to school, we could still get that degree. That would cost me money though, wouldn't it? My getting my degree would cost some of the money that I want to have an all-night party for New Year's. So yeah, we're not going to school. Soz. We've got an hourglass, and we can take any of these cards into future rounds with us. So, well, forget these that I've pointed at the board rather than the type of cards. Any of these cards I can kind of reserve for myself for the future. So maybe I really do want to learn how to play the piano. It'd be good to just have an activity out there that would get me study. I need to earn more study, but hopefully we'll get a job next time. It's like I could reserve the social job, but then Brianna might not be out. I don't know if I'm going to have a load of study to reserve Sherry. What about experiences? Have at least an arts project. I mean, we could still time to learn to play the piano, and then we can later on go to a puppet theatre festival. Have at least 7 ideas away from that. 3 books and 4 influence, 4 money. Of course, this is for the future. I don't need to have it right now. I could be dreaming about going to Sydney Opera House. I don't think I'm particularly dreaming about them. I'm kind of dreaming about that board game collection. Why not? I'm going to do the dream action, so I can take any one of these cards and put it on any one of these spaces. I'm going to say I haven't got much influence right now, so I'm going to pop it on that space. Get me an influence now. And in the future, in every upkeep phase, I get desire tokens on any cards that I've got here from doing the dream action. And when I actually take the plunge and choose one of these cards to, put it in my normal play area, for every one of these it's got on it, I get points. So we'll get a board game collection later, and we'll get points for it. Vinyl record player. Spend. Well, we could just buy I haven't got the money though to participate in these things. Okay, we don't need projects, do we? That's just something I would like to have, but it's not something that I need. I'm just thinking because of the discount I've got right now here. Would it be wise to just even just do a group project? I don't know if I've got the resources really to do it. I think maybe. Hey, Katie, how's it going? Hey, Nolan, I love this game so much. It's been a while since I've played. Whenever the last video I did of it, it's the last time that I've played this. But I love it so much, and I've played it a lot in the past. But it needs to come out more often because we're going to end up with a great story. And there's so many bits that I'm sure I've never played with. I'm thinking of learning to play the piano. I don't know if it's necessarily going to help me out that much, but it's my life. We're going to learn how to play the piano. Right, so that refills when I take it, and we need to... So we are at the stage of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Pay a study, get myself a lifetime happiness. 4 lifetime happiness. I think I've spent all of my things. So let me get the... Someone's made a lovely player aid for the little phases and things. Thanks so much for being a member as well, by the way, Katie. I need to make more pictures. I can't remember how many pictures there are for numbers and things. By the way, everyone, thanks, James, for doing it ages ago. I meant to say when you did it, when you made the bot activate. You can support me on Patreon. You can support me on Ko-fi or become a YouTube member. It's how I'm able to do things like this. At the moment, we're leading up to the 10th anniversary of this channel at the end of April. And in that lead up, I'm feeling like reminiscing and happily for the ones so far. When I'm coming back to things, I've been droning on a bit and not done much gaming this hour, but I am very excited and happy going back to these things. So in the resolution phase, determine the next round's first player based on who's got the most short-term happiness. I don't need to pay anything, do I? Because I had short-term happiness. That's why I did that. And then it resets. Always the first player in a solo game. Gain additional rewards from group projects and group items. As I said, like based on how many people came here. So like in a multiplayer game, if I'd gone on there and a couple more people had, then you would all get the 3 hourglass rewards, like the first 3 rewards. And if you've got 2 hourglasses on there, you would get them again. So like they might not look like great rewards for the cost right away, but if you can make more people go on there, and you can go on a card twice, I think. Yeah, it can end up you getting a load of resources and points for it. So we haven't got any of those. Set aside any single round and group projects because they don't count towards your limits and things. Because we have got now 1 towards our limits. Like, I need to learn how to play the piano now. I've set myself a project, and that may have been a mistake to do that, but I want to do it. So set aside them. Community. Check each community card left to right. So the only one that I have chosen to engage in is a New Year's celebration. Happy New Year! It's time to choose an outcome. So I could just watch TV at home. I would get a study for that. I can go to the town's central square, pay 2 influence to get an idea and a lifetime happiness. But I am going big. I'm going 3 influence and my only 2 money. Teenage, of course we're going to do this for an all-night party. So I get an idea, which is the thing I have most of right now. I get a popularity. This is a special thing for a special track for the community expansion. And I get myself 2 more lifetime happiness. Check each community card left to right in new turn order. Choose outcome, remove token. When the card's empty, discard it. And then discard the card in the 5th slot, if any, and slide cards right. And we don't fill them in just yet, do we? I haven't made space for discard piles. And then score points. It's just a point per popularity. Remind me what happens in the upkeep phase. This player aid tells me to resolve it. Yeah, lifetime happiness equal to your popularity score, which is now 1. Each player then loses a popularity. Oh. And then all dead players also gain... You can't lose popularity when you have 0. Yeah. I had all that in the right place, didn't I? Experience it. Community. Yeah, on Space Zero. So I need more popularity. Oh, there's a couple of things that would get me too. Maybe I should have gone for those. I don't know if I could have afforded them. Right. So that upkeep is done. Events not in. Ongoing life goals we haven't got. Relatives and inheritance. So down here we have Grandma Rosie here. We roll a die in the resolution phase, and if the die is less than or equal to this number, then the marker is going to move on. So I've not played with these before. Does that mean we've only got one chance before they die? Or should I not even have the cube on that? Space. Hang on a minute. Hey, one last time. How's it going? I don't know. I've never seen this game, but it is an old game, to be fair. It's from 2015 originally. But it's had many kind of Kickstarters and resurgences and things. There are many expansions because they're kind of... It's good that they're all modular and you can just chuck in whatever you like. But it means if you are being daft and chucking it all in, the rules are in very separate places. You can have mutual friends that go in between players and can benefit from things. You can be store owners. There are group items you can participate in together. Ongoing life goals. What about relative? Yeah. Oh yeah, on the level indicator's current space. So we roll a die. If the die's value is higher, then you move the indicator one space to the right. If the die is equal or lower, the relative passes away. So with a 1, we might have never had a chance to get this inheritance. So let's see. 3. Grandma Rosie is alive and well for one more round. I don't know that we're going to be able to get in a relationship and have a child right away. We'll see. Imagine my role player and all the expansions. It's a very good game. There's a lot of expansions. Yeah, I think I feel like you could back for the big box, just the box if you wanted, but I think a lot of the big box you'll see out there, if you see someone selling it secondhand, for example, I've seen a couple of wildly low prices in Facebook groups that I've been tempted to get. But yeah, the Kickstarter for the big box with things in it was everything. The base game, all the expansions, all of the promos, including the thing that I'm missing, and they did fancy tokens and things. So relatives inheritance, check for the end game. No, not dead yet. Take back your tokens from the various spaces. We're still going to be on 6 because we're not stressed out yet. It's in the hourglass markers over there. Then preparation phase. Advance round marker. Gain stress. Only do that in old age. No events. Remove the school tile and all of the remaining school-based careers and things. Miss me chance. Discard all of the cards from the main board. Miss me chance have that record player. I could have dreamed another thing. But no. I don't know if I'm going to have the money for that. So lose these jobs. And these potential partners. But remember, we're only seeing cards in these rows because I'm playing with the expansion that lets me dream and bank cards. In the normal game, these don't even fill up in the teen round because you can't do those actions. Discard all the cards and draw 4 new ones. Should have done that as we were going along. You draw from the bottom in these. So you put them in the wrong place. Rachel. We could get into a relationship with and have a family with Rachel. That's the name of my wife. Unless you're... Because you're confused to why I'm suddenly babbling about a particular name coming out. There's a lot of Navy jobs coming out. We could start a business, though. To start a business is something that came in one of the mini expansions. So you can do this, cost you all of this money in these tokens, and you get 3 points and a cube on it. You'll have an upkeep every round. One of your all the jobs have upkeep of different levels of time depending on how many promotions and stuff you've got, and some resources to get a load of money and another cube. You can take an action at some point rather than get promotions and things to sell your business. So it will cost you ideas and influence and stuff to get it sold, but then you will get 2 money and a point for every cube on here. So a cool, different way of having a job. Security and safety jobs were this is all Kickstarter 3. I tried to shuffle them. There's a lot of cards everywhere. It was already taking a lot of time. My shuffle patience may have run out at various points. Community, populate the empty spaces with cards so we could meet the parents. You've got to have a partner and take a stress to do that. And we could run for mayor. Stressful things to do, but hey, maybe. Right. Community experiences, remove the unavailable action. So these cards don't change yet, and all of the friends change. Gain or lose hourglass markers based on where you are on the stress track. I'm on the stick with 6. And then in the upkeep phase, your experiences, add a desire token to each of your dreams. Count the number of active projects, jobs, and partners. I have an active project going. I've got 3 slots. You can have more, but you gain a stress for every card over 3. And even if they count towards just your 3 slots, you can have multiple partners should you so choose, but you gain additional stress for everyone you've got beyond the first. I have not got any of that yet, so no stress to gain there. Pay upkeep costs. We do have one, don't we? Somewhere. Oh, yeah. Our close friend. We need to pay study and an influence to get a lifetime happiness. So, 8 out of 75. I need 75 and to complete these 3 goals. In case you weren't here at the start. 50 in the base game you need in a solo game. 2 of the expansions add 10 to that and 1 adds 5. And then we've got the goals we're going for. Have at most 2 of each resource when you die. We need to raise a family with a partner. And we need to participate in at least 5 activities. Okay, so we've done that. Didn't cost us any hourglasses. We haven't gone to school and gotten jobs from there. Haven't got any kids yet. Haven't got any pets. So we are in the action phase again. Okay. So, if we're going to do an action to gain resources, it would be nice to get some more nostalgia things out. I mean, the requirement of attending the class reunion, have at least 10 points. We're on 8 now. So that could be something. It's going to give us some short-term unhappiness looking at our old yearbook. The action phase gets influence as well. That could be something. From the interact action. Get 3 of these. So jobs. It would be good to get some income of money because I've got nothing right now. Do I want one of these jobs? Not really. Have at least 2 happenings planned. They're types of experiences. For Alexandra to be in a relationship with you. Rachel wants you to have at least 2 of each of the resources. Not far off. So what if... Oh, I need this hourglass back as well. We need to get a job to afford these activities. I'm thinking about if it's possible to become mayor. Let's go for interact as an action. Get 3 influence. For doing that, we can go into the nostalgia banks and fill in the scrapbook, perform the interact action, and we get another one. So right now with Rachel, I have that stuff. It would be 2 actions, one to develop a relationship and then one to advance that relationship before I like try and get a job and then spend those resources. But one of the things, why not use our community skills? Take a stress, have at least 3 interact. I've got at least 3. We're going to get elected mayor. If it's the last thing that I do, take a stress, have at least 3, and then gain a popularity. If we can get elected, we can have 2 more. I need a study, 2 ideas, 3 influence. I do need to spend some to get a job as a consultant. Navy, is it ensign? It's not ensign, is it? A study, an idea, a stress. Like, we could wait to go further. We could just dream of Rachel. Just having resources is the requirement. We're not going to have happenings planned. I do have 5 ideas already. And let's see, spending the time with Rachel would get a short-term happiness and a point every round. Oh, I've only got 1 book, actually. I haven't got 2 of each. With Erin, it would be a time to get 2 books, an influence, and a short-term happiness, but no long-term happiness. Have at least 8. I'm just thinking, Grandma Rosie, she could die. May a time like May, so we'll find out. One of my campaign promises is that we're gonna rename Mayor Major. Our favourite games to play with Rach. We are bad people to ask at the moment because we haven't played. Actually, we went on a little a tiny convention the weekend just gone, so we have played a game together. But before then, we hadn't played a game in like 9 months. But some of our favourite like couples games, we love kind of big campaigny adventure games like Gloomhaven and Iridia and role player adventures and that kind of thing. We have played a ton of Fuse. It's one of our most played games. We have played a lot of kind of the... Rach has gradually gotten more and more on board with all of the Arkham and Eldritch horror things that I got into. And we've played a ton of... Probably most we've played the card game. But we're kind of... we're feeling at the moment like maybe we're just returning to it because like we're hoping it'll be a great time and it isn't always. Pathfinder Adventure card game was a big one of last year. Rach is like we play fewer competitive games now, and Rach like isn't into like the heavier things too. Like found more and more. Like I thought Speakeasy was more approachable, but I've found from teaching it and making Rach play it that no, that's in my head of playing them all the time, and I made a mistake. And we shouldn't have done that. We love Agents of Smirsh, the James Bond parody storytelling game. Like a lot of things with story, a lot of cooperative stuff. We used to play loads of Pandemic. I know that we've gone off it, just haven't played it for a while. I think they're like a load of big ones. Roll and Rights as well. Very big. I like played loads of Welcome to and Octo Dice and Quinto, and like now we're getting into like just references that are dead old. Oh, Medora when we're talking about big adventure things. That's one of our favorites. Yeah, a lot of Stefan Feld things as well. Like played a ton of Castles of Burgundy and Trajan was I think Rachel's favorite game when she did a top 10. I don't know if we ever did like a favorite couples games, but it kind of melded for a while. Like the main way that I played was two player, and that's certainly kind of changed because we've got a tiny Sabrina. But things will balance out, and we'll play more things again. So I've pledged to become mayor, so we better make that happen. I want some popularity, so yeah, we're gonna make it happen. And I've got a popularity, so I'm allowed to put a hourglass on something else. We could make something else happen. Hmm. You do go through them left to right, so you would have to have the resources for that before anything else. Right. Are we going to get into a relationship and get a job? Because that is a huge kind of time commitment. I mean, the clock is ticking. We want Grandma Rose's inheritance. We do want to raise a family with a partner to be able to win the game. Just thinking, Erin will get me resources that I need right now. As Rach, I'm sorry. I think, I think we're going to start dating Erin. Oh yeah, the Anarchy. I need to play as well. That's not a game that Rach and I have played. I actually like it. She enjoyed Hadrian's Wall, but she only ever played it once. We have not played Seize the Beam for ages, but when I did those top 10 of the decade streams, I went on about Seize the Beam for so long, and that's another one that did I put it in the vote? I think I did put it in the vote, and it didn't. It maybe didn't come high up. Pursuit of Happiness definitely won the vote, but I think other things underneath it were fairly tied, so it may come around soon. But there are a load of things I've got a whole nother vote of things I want to go back to, and there's a vote of things that I've never had the chance to do a playthrough for. Yeah, I've not played Seize the Beam for ages though, and I would love to. So we're in a relationship. We are dating Erin, of which I'm getting a two study and an influence. So I need a study, two ideas, and three influence to become elected at the end of the round. So don't spend them. I could get a job as a consultant. That would be three influence and an idea. I would still have some things left over. It's just if you want to take the plunge and get into a relationship, I have got five ideas right now. Gonna use up hourglasses in future rounds. Let's do it. Relationship. Are we moving too fast? The relationship with Kimmy have at least one nostalgia card realised. Not realised them yet. Realised is when they flip, I think. So we have at least five. We don't need to spend anything. Get two more study. And an influence and a short-term happiness. Okay. So do we want to get that job? Six money. I don't necessarily want to get more stress right now. Are we getting any short-term happiness from things? I'm not going on many experiences right now, am I? We can get hamster. Now, although they're in the items and activities deck, the pets behave differently. Like you have to choose the top one, and they will have an upkeep cost, and they will age every round. And unfortunately, hey, it's telling the story of a life. You will say goodbye, friend, at varying levels of rounds, depending on which animal it is. So you get a lot of lifetime happiness, but your short-term happiness will increase at the start, but decrease when the inevitable happens. Let's see, we've got 3 more hourglasses. I could have another. I could really get involved with the community. I've got my best friend, so we could relax by chatting to my best friend. Because I'm not going to have loads of ideas, am I? Just thinking, do we need a load of money? Do we need any money? I can get a discount and just keep doing the basic things on the activities. I just don't get great rewards for doing that. And it would be my third slot if I get a job. Hmm. So I do want to do these things as well. So what do we need to have for Farida? We need to have a book and an influence at the start of next round for the upkeep. Just a time for Erin. But we will get that from Erin, actually. So I could spend them if I wanted to. Just spending those to get elected. Like I could. You can do the second level of these nostalgia cards, which are actually cut off that angle, aren't they? Before you do an action. You can pay the cost and do the check mark. I'm wondering if it's worth doing the creative journaling. We could, of course, raise a family with Erin. Like if I go and get 3 ideas, it's very, very quick. But it would then cost you 2 hourglasses every round to get 4 happiness. Wouldn't get resources. But it's a risk with Grandma Rosie. She's pressuring us to have a kid. And there are cards as well. You'll get a child card when you raise a family. You don't have to play with that if you don't want to. They're in a particular expansion or promo pack anyway, so they might not even be in the game. But tons of stuff is optional in the game. Should probably get a job. We could dream about things in the future as well. We could dream about the water park. We've got the board game collection, but I haven't got any money right now. But we could also use it to plan an experience. Like I've got an art project. We could think about that puppet theatre festival. Haven't got 7 of that. I could think about Mount Olympus. It's an option. Or maybe Sydney Opera House. Or we could just dream with another card and get more resources now. And just don't get a job yet. I don't think we should get a child yet. I would like to advance the Learn to Play the Piano project, but can I get some more short-term happiness from something? Like, do you want to just go to the water park and do the cheap splash pads thing, which will be free? Yeah. Let's go to the splash pads at the water park. I haven't got a job in my young adulthood. spending my time learning the piano and going out with Erin. Get short-term happiness and relax. So we could now learn to play the piano with a 2 discount. So it just cost an idea or maybe just a book to get 2 happiness. And then, oh yeah, before the next action, we can browse the yearbook. Just run me through exactly how the nostalgia things work. It's my first time with the nostalgia expansion. So doing the second stage isn't an action. Passive level, do the action, you can put the card out. Active level, before taking an action, you can pay the cost to gain the level's reward and place a check mark. It doesn't require an hourglass and you can do an action. If the nostalgia card has 2 check marks, you can take a card action to realise the reminiscence. You must pay the cost or meet the requirement. You gain the reward. So we can, before my action, pay a short-term happiness. Or are we going to learn to play the piano some more? Because once you've got it to its last stage, not only have you got all the rewards from it, but it goes from being one of your 3 things. I think we're going to lower the short-term happiness. We're going to browse an old yearbook. We're going to get an idea and an influence for that. And as my action, I've got 10 points now, so we could go to this class reunion, but I haven't got any stress. And we could meet the parents. That would gain you a stress. Gain 1 stress and you must have a partner. And we could choose the option, you have our blessing, 1 of each resource, get a short-term happiness and 3 points. Short-term happiness would just, I suppose, be for... We're at friend in hospital. We wouldn't have any money to do the best thing. We'd have to go and earn some money from somewhere. For a lot of the things as well. Like the relatives visiting, Aunt May, Cousin Vinny. Who was my Cousin Vinny? A few weeks ago. So do you want to get a job then? If all of these things are requiring money, we could get popular in the neighborhood. Or you need to refill the activity you took. Bugs! We could get pet bugs. Okay, let's get a job. Not a temp job, a real job. So this is going to take all of my... So that's my slots filled. 3. We could do group projects and one-off projects though in the meantime. So pay this to get 6 money. Means you could have done the better thing at the water park though. No, I've got money for later. And we could try and get promoted in the future. TV host. That's a social job. 2 ideas and 4 influence. It would be my last action as well. No, not yet. Right. So we can still dream about something or plan an experience. Or could dream of becoming a TV host. We need to have an idea and an influence to keep doing stuff in the job as well. Do you want to make any more friends? I haven't got items. I have got at least 4 money. I can make friends with Mateo. I've got a job now. So Kevin would be my friend. Got any activities out? Of course, like the items. Oh, wait a minute. I went to the water park and I didn't put an hourglass down. So I haven't got any more actions. So we will probably I'm going to dream about becoming a TV host. And I'm going to get an idea now. Not got my board game collection. And so a job's going to come out, but it's going to get immediately discarded, isn't it? So, yeah, that's all of that stuff, I think. Oh, we're going to meet the parents. We got a job so that I could go and visit my friend in hospital. We could just not have done the water park. Stayed in the middle of stress. I know we've seen a card now, but let myself off it. Visit a friend in hospital. That's what we did all of that for. Reset your short-term happiness. And yeah, we'll do 2 things in the neighborhood. It'll be great. Right. And we'll just discard all of that in one big go. Take-backs. Wouldn't be a stream without take-backs. So reset your short-term happiness. Haven't done any group items or projects or single round ones. Community. So, I am running for mayor. We have got a study, 2 ideas, and 3 influence. And that's all it takes to get you elected mayor in this town. 2 popularity and 3 points. 1, 2, 3. And I think this has got to get saved somewhere. I am the mayor. Then visit a friend in hospital. We are going to pay 2 study and an influence and 2 money to get 2 popularity and 3 lifetime happiness. Just in a single player game, I can just take all of these cards as a record of what happened, can't I? We also oh yeah, we had that late night party, didn't we, for New Year's? Downside of this is I'm quickly going to run out of space for all of these things. And we didn't do anything else. So discard the card in the 5th slot, if any, and slide everything right. Then score points, 2, and everyone moves 1 space left. 18 out of 75. No events, none of that, none of that. Okay. Where have I put that die? Grandma Rosie. We need a 4 or more. It's 50-50. 4. Okay, we need to probably have a kid this round to get the inheritance. Okay. It's not the end game because I'm still alive. Take back the hourglass tokens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where's my 6th one? There's 6 there. Can't count. And then we need the dude and the cloud. Return any taken due to overtime. Oh yeah, there's this overtime action. You can take 2 stress to get 2 hourglasses, so you effectively gain 1 because it's cost you 1 to go there. That's where you're using the 2 for something else on. Yeah, take 2 stress, but you get to do more stuff. It's not the end of the game, so preparation phase, advance. No stress yet. No events. Don't need to remove anything. Discard everything. Sorry, pets. There's a cat. We've got to go for the cat, right? Not going to become a rocket scientist. I'm dreaming of being a TV host. Sorry, potential partners. So we've got Hannah, Christine, Tammy, and Dana. Oh, of course, if you want to see your other options. Same for the jobs as well. Like, don't have to be a consultant. I could be a salesperson. I'll be a consultant. You don't have to be a TV host. You could be a lawyer. I'll be a TV host. Librarian, radio producer. Oh, that's just a one-off job. No promotion in that one. arts job. Where did that part come from? And then let's see the activities in that. We have got cocooning, private school as an activity. Wow, look at the study tokens you can get from that. Expensive. You go to private school then. Personal monsieur. A lot of activities. And we could go rafting, anniversary party as group projects, or we could go yoga or windsurfing. The advantage of the single round or group project is they wouldn't count towards your limits because you get rid of them before the upkeep phase. So you don't have to take stress for having those. Whereas if I went yoga and I had both of them on the go, that would be too many projects. Okay, so discard all the cards and draw new ones. Populate the community board. So, as well as meet the parents and beach party that's still there, I want to keep this popularity up now. I'm doing all right with it. We could join the neighborhood watch. We could go into quarantine again, or save someone from drowning. That feels like I need to go and do that now. Neighborhood watch is stressful, but the best for popularity. Or bring your guitar to a beach party. You need to have a load of ideas there. I've got 4. But you need to have them at the end of the round. Anyway, experiences, discard Sydney Opera House, and let's see, a new one. King's Day. Friends. We might still make another friend. Haven't become best friends with Frida yet. Keanu, Mariana, Arthur and Melissa, and Philippe. And then Hourglass markers based on the stress track. Experiences, add a desire token to each of these. I'm not over 3. I don't have 2 relationships. And then we need to do the upkeep costs in any order and gain the rewards. So we have upkeep of Erin. We need to spend a time with Erin and we'll get 2 study, an influence, and a short-term happiness. And then we got to spend time working, sadly, which is going to be idea and an influence. And we get 6 money. Rich. And we could go for that promotion. I hear there's a TV host job going. They want consultants. Oh, and I need to pay a study and an influence to get a lifetime happiness from my friend Farid. Okay. So, we could just as well, like, for these cards that aren't relevant anymore, you could just have them kind of in the order that they happened in the game. I'm sure I've done this before. And you just, like, remember the titles and tell the story of our life. It's not, like, entirely in order because we've got these things ongoing out here. But we'll have a little check-in on the story at the end, and that'll save us some space. Okay, money-wise, let's do an expensive activity. Got a bit of stress I want to deal with, and we have lost 2 time. So I've only got 4 of these things to do. I've only got 1 influence. We need 2 to join the neighborhood watch. And I need 4 to get promoted. Well, what about, let's attend this class reunion we've been working towards. Have at least 10 points. Got them. Gain an influence and a relax. And then we can flip this over. It's in this camera angle, I think. And this comes down, actually, to our main area. It doesn't take up a slot, because it's not a project or anything like that. But we've attended the class reunion. And we can do an action to keep in touch. 3 influence to get, 2 study, a short-term happiness, and 2 long-term happiness, lifetime happiness. At the end of the action phase, gain an influence. That would be nice. So we spent time to go and do that, and we've got a slot available now for if I go and get some more of that. We want to raise family, though, don't we? How are we going to get 8? Light bulbs. You haven't thought about this, have you? I think you know how. Spend, spend, spend. It's time for the board game collection. So I am going to get 2 lifetime happiness for getting this. And you can go on a low one at one point and just do an action on the card later to raise it up. But we're going to go big straight away. I'm going to go for a room of board games. 6 money, please. I'm going to have to pay 3 at the start of every round. 2 happiness for the desire tokens that were on there. And that's going to get me 4 study. 5 ideas. And a lifetime happiness. And we'll get 1 every round as well, a lifetime happiness. So I could now join the neighborhood watch. We're going to take some stress stopping a burglary. Do I want to spend my only 2 influence doing that? We want to keep the popularity up. Oh, or we could go to the beach party. And that's not going to get us any stress. It costs 3 study, and I'm not really spending all of that on anything. Beach party. Sorry, neighborhood watch. Squares. We'll have to get promoted another time. So 2 influence. So we've got a 2 discount on the project if we want to learn to play the piano. I've only got 2 things, though. And one of them needs to be... It's time. Did I recycle a time? I think I put it on the spent time. Yeah, the time's like you could leave it on the card. I think it comes off when the card goes on there. Either way, it's like it's spent. Like the ones from the upkeep. But yeah, I used that. So we are going to develop our relationship with Erin. So to raise a family, we have to have at least 8. Better make sure you have all of the tokens you need for this. Have at least 8 ideas. We have 8. So 2 happiness. This is going to take 2 hourglasses every round now. See how it all runs out. And then remind me how having a kid works. There are 2 ways to get kids from a party. You may draw a kid when you develop the partner's relationship to the raise family level. Take a card action on a partner at the raise. Oh yeah, you don't have to have one right now, but you can in the future. And it's going to give me a cost, though. But you want to have a kid. Just see. By any chance, is there a Sabrina in here? There is a twins card. There are 2 twins cards. There is not a Sabrina in here. I've been so insulted in all my life. My daughter's name is Sabrina, if you're baffled by my fake outrage. Right then, let's see. My child with Erin is. Our survey says... Twins! Oh dear. It's Cody and Tiara. Okay. Space. Let's move the story over there. So Cody and Tiara are newborns. I get a lifetime happiness each. In the upkeep phase of each round, they are going to advance to the next stage, and you need to pay their cost or suffer their penalty. Have at least 6 money. I will have at least 6 money when I pay my job. So organize a party is going to cost this. I know 3 study and have at least 4 light bulbs. We can do that. You're just 2 hourglasses. I need an idea and an influence. And I need influence from you as well. I might have to get influence as my last action. What are other ways of getting influence? Philippe? I could get one influence. All I need is one. I need two, don't I? For my friend and my job. We are getting two influence from this, though. Okay, we don't need to worry. Two influence from the beach party. Spent all the money on the board game collection, didn't I? So activities. I've only got two right now. Or with the two short-term happiness, we could just... You only need to have at least 4 ideas. So we could spend 3 ideas to learn the piano a bit more. Nocturne in E minor. Try and get that project completed. Do want to do activities as well. But I don't necessarily have all of this money to spend. I would like to have maybe done the private school and got a load of things from there. We can get activities later. We'll have time. I'm going to learn to play the piano. 3 ideas. I'll take the 2 study as a discount from my short-term happiness. 4 lifetime happiness. And we can dream. So I didn't get promoted, but I need influence to do that, really. So have at least 4 money. We could plan an activity to St. Paul's Cathedral. Or the Puppet Theatre Festival is always there. Have at least 1 short-term happiness, King's Day, but I don't need to relax from the stress. Or we could just dream about something in the future. What about... There's nothing great to get me influence, really, is there? Like, out here instantly. We're going to dream about cocooning, I think. Let's get an influence for that. Buy some headphones. And I think... Oh, yeah, I'm not doing... Oh, buying an item. I bought a board game collection. I could have a 1 discount on that. Just thinking I haven't used my discount this round. There we go. So, upkeep. So the rounds are getting quicker because I'm blathering less, but also your time is taken up with all of the things you've decided to fill your life with. Turn around, next round's first player. Don't do that. Group projects and items, not done any. Community cards, I've only done 1 this time. It's beach party time. Bring my guitar. I do have at least 4 ideas. I'm going to spend 3 study. And I get 2 influence, 2 popularity. Oh, doesn't cross me over into 3. And a lifetime happiness. And we'll put our beach party in the story. Bring that back. And then there isn't anything in the 5th, so we slide everything right. Events, none, no. Inheritance, so basically, I mean, we can roll the die anyway, but it's going to be a 6 or less, isn't it? It's a 1. Can you tell which die that is? So Grandma Rosie. I didn't mean to sound so excited, Grandma Rosie, but Grandma Rosie has passed away because we rolled this number or lower, and been going on for a few rounds. So, do we have a kid? We have 2 kids. So we get the inheritance of 6 money and 3 lifetime happiness. 1, 2, 3. And Grandma Rosie can go into our rich tapestry. Pop Hagler up there. Okay. Inheritance done. Then, not end game. Get your hourglasses back for 6. And watch them disappear at the start of next round. You might have to do some overtime, but that takes your stress. Next round. No events. Not doing all of that. Discard cards from the main board. I don't know if I'll take on a project again. When am I getting time for that? I'm just kind of chucking them into the middle of decks. We're never going to even get into the middle of them. Oh, I've got to remember how I managed to fit all of this in the box at the end. It was a very, very, very tight squeeze. The advantage of having the big box, it'll all fit in there so easily. And the partners, because you don't have to stick with Erin, but probably meant to be making a Discord pile as well. Am I ever gonna have the influence to be able to get promoted? To realize my dream of being a TV host, and then we could be a judge or a banker. There's maybe another level 3 thing out there, but if I had a level 2 job and I was to get promoted, I would have to choose the one that's out on the board before I'm allowed to go digging into draw piles. Oh. Items and activities, stroke pets. There's a rabbit. Could buy a laptop, and we could go on some projects. Game forging. Maybe we want to become a designer in my midlife. Art competition, learn cooking, write articles. That's a single round competition, single round project. So it will go away and it won't stay in your places. New community card. We could go to the Renaissance Fair. That person is still drowning. Experiences, remove the cathedral. And our new one is the Taj Mahal. I haven't been doing many experiences, have I? Then, friends. Didn't make any new friends. Got Farida, we're busy. Zainab, Nadine, Nolan, Isabella are out right now. And hourglasses, we are still in the middle of the stress track, so we're okay on that, but that's going to change as we start to get into old age. So, experiences, get a desire token on each of your things. Upkeep costs. Okay, so we want to do job first, I think. So an influence and an idea. And I've got 6 money, I could do it in any order. So, Tiara is going to age because we can meet the requirement. If we didn't meet the requirement, they would still age. You don't lose the card or anything like that. Get into that kind of zone. But you would lose a lifetime happiness for not being able to do the next level. So Tiara is a teenager already. They grow up so fast. We get a short-term happiness. But then for Cody, we need to spend 2 money and lose a short-term happiness. But we've been able to meet the things and we get a long-term happiness. For him, then it needs to be an influence and a study, which I can afford, to get a happiness from Farida. 3 money from our board game collection. We need to put a cube on there. And that's a lifetime happiness. Erin, 2 hourglasses for 4 lifetime happiness. My job, an hourglass, an idea. And an influence for 6 money. And that's all of the upkeep, I think. So then, hourglass tokens to spent time. School. Kids, I've done them in upkeep, I suppose. It didn't matter. Pets, I haven't got any. Actions. I have 3 whole actions I can do. So if I was to interact, I would have the stuff to be able to get promoted. So I need 4. We could go snowboarding on Black Piste for 5 or 4 with my discounts. I could get 2 influence and 3 points that way. So it makes sense, rather than just interacting. We would be able to potentially put a reminiscence down and things like that. But I might have missed the boat for that. Being friends with Zainab could get me influence. Pay study to get influence. Oh, friends with Isabella. She is very influential. Have at least one S project. Not even any out right now. Can't become friends with Isabella. That would really help me out. I'd like to design some games. What if we buy an expensive laptop? You do need to spend all of these resources by the end. You can't have any... You can have at most 2 of each thing at the end of the game. Money isn't included in that. But you want to have 5 activities, remember? Buy this laptop for 6 money. HB Pavalung. With more upkeep to it. That's my job. That's my salary, basically. Is that a good idea? In upkeep, well, we're going to get promoted. It's fine. 4 study. 3 influence. A short-term happiness and a lifetime happiness. I could get promoted now. Can we do anything? Oh, I didn't get my 2 points for the popularity and then lose 1. We could stop a burglary in the neighborhood watch. That pushes into the 3-point zone. We could at the Renaissance Fair. Oh, that wants us to have a load of influence. Stopping a burglary is stressful, but we could do that. Oh, that costs influence, though, to do it in the first place. Might only be able to earn 1. You could do a couple of things, but that's tokens, isn't it? We could rescue the person that's drowning. If we go to the Renaissance Fair dressed as a knight, though, we could get a load of influence that I seem to be eternally short of. And we're going to get a better job in a minute. So we will have money for Tiara. Oh no! Cody is going to need 5 money. And Tiara's going to need 8. It's going to cost me a fortune. Yeah, we need to get promoted. Right, Renaissance Fair. Pay the entry fee of 1 to do that. Oh, new thing can come out. A console. I'm going to get promoted. 2 ideas. 4 influence. To be a TV host. 2 happiness for the desire tokens on the card. My other job's gone. So to get to level 3, 2 study, 2 ideas, and 7 influence. I get some money though now, don't I? 3 money and 3. Did I get myself 3 points? I didn't get 3 money, definitely not. Oh no, I just got the points from the desire tokens. 3 money, 3 points for the promotion. Because you've already had, you pay from the normal job. You'll get the full pay next time. So I need to have an influence for that. I will get some from the Renaissance Fair. So that's okay. But that will be gone. You need to have an idea. We will have an idea. We're going to get stress from the kids as well. I've got a relax banked up. Okay, we've got 1 hourglass. Not something stressful, please. I don't want to get another job right now. I can't get promoted. We've got a short-term happiness, so we could learn to play the piano. Oh, that needs an extra hourglass. That needs 2 on it. But then that is completed. Okay, what can I do? It seems a bit of a cop-out at this stage in the game to go and just get like 3 resources. Soon's going to want a pony. Yeah. She's part of the... Well, actually, I was pretty much on time for the stream. It was just the page not refreshing that delayed it by a few minutes. She is almost there with crawling. We're trying to coach her through a couple of steps, but she got fed up. Fair enough. I don't think we can make friends with anybody. We could make friends with Zainab, of course. It would be an upkeep of study, but I do have at the moment a lot of study. Other than that, we would get stress for spending. We might be able to relax that stress later. I do have a bit of cash before the kids take it all. But I think that cash is going away. Hey Marty. How's it going? I think I might have to, horror of horrors, interact. Have we got something that could reward me for interacting? We could get an extra influence for it. Don't have to do any of these other bits. Get a stone pet. Reminisce about that time I had a stone pet. Oh, that would have been good. You've got a friend in me. Place 9 influence on this card. Whenever you run out of influence, get 3 from this card. If you adopt it, you could get a relax. I'm sorry, Marty. I'm still... We're near the last adult round, though. Because we could potentially get promoted. Let's move all of the cards on the board. How many ideas do I need? Just 1. Let's save this person that's drowning. Done. Okay, resolution. Reset your short-term happiness. Didn't learn any more piano, did we? No things in there. Community cards. So we are... And I'm already spending an idea, aren't I? Could just call in the lifeguard and get a happiness. Hey, Marty, I'm sorry. I will soon be done. Yeah, I am going to spend that idea. And I need 1 for my upkeep of my job. Or I will lose my job. Not going to report me. Haven't got the money for a... or the stress for a big activity. Yeah, maybe we just think about that time we once had a stone pet, interact, and get 3-4 for interacting. Okay. Oh, I also need some of that as well. So, oh, we are going to get some from the Renaissance Fair, though. So, end of the round. We are going to be dressed as the... Oh, I don't think I zoomed out to show you all that stuff that I was doing. But I'm going to be dressed as a knight. 2 study, 1 idea. For 3 influence. A popularity. And a happiness. 50. 25 to go. And that's done. That time we went to the Renaissance Fair. And maybe at the end of the extra phase, I don't want things, do I? For having 2 of everything at the end for that goal. So that was the community bit. Events, no. Inheritance, no. Take back your hourglasses. 4, 5, 6. Then advance the final adult round. Discard all of the cards. Am I ever going to take another project on? I don't know. Should be able to crawl over to Marty's bowl. Oh, yeah. It's everything is suddenly going to be up for grabs. He's got a water fountain right next to the living room as well, which is where we are most of the time. So at the stage, they're best of friends now. For many months, she wasn't that bothered about Marty, who's our cat. You just saw him, didn't you? Just think, for anyone wondering about these people that I'm on about. And he kept his distance. He wasn't very keen. But now he is like to the point of being a nuisance coming over for fuss from Sabrina. Despite the fact that her idea of fuss at the moment is often grabbing him, like grabbing a hunk of his fur way too hard. But he's very good with all that. Just moves away because he can right now. But soon, he won't be able to just walk away from her. She'll be chasing him down. Do the cards. Community. What can we do for the community? A soccer tournament. Boring. Experiences. Not going to Mount Olympus. Probably not doing any of the experiences at this stage. There's still chance. Maybe we'll have an experience in retirement. Get me. Did I dream? I didn't dream about something last time, did I? Oh well. I just missed the chance because I never got my cloud back. Oh well. My mistake. Friends. Draw 4 more. The perfect friend, but did not qualify for her. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cycling through them now. And then hourglass markers. We're still in the middle on stress happily. Experiences. We get a desire token on cocooning. So need to get more activities. Haven't got more than 3 things. Pay your costs. And then kids we do later. So study and an influence on Farida to get a happiness. 51. We need 2 hourglasses on Erin for 4 points. Oh no, 2 on me. I forgot getting promoted's 2 on me job as well. And a study. Well, you want to earn them big bucks. A lot of time hosting a TV show. We do get £11, which I will need for my children. And then we need to spend 6, 3 each on the board game collection and laptop to get a couple. Oh, thanks, James. Have a good one. Thank you for being here. And then finally, after we've done all the upkeep on things, kids, advance. So 5 money and a stress for Cody. 8 money, that is all of my money, and a stress for Tiara. But that is a lifetime short-term happiness and 6 lifetime happiness. So we need 12 more points. We have raised a family with a partner, 2 more activities, and make sure we don't have more than 2 of each resource. Apart from money, you can have more money because that counts towards your points. But we are going into the final adult round with... We can participate in something in the community. 2 actions. Probably not getting promoted. I have 4 study and 5 influence. I need at least an idea from a job, don't I? Yeah. So I need to get an idea somehow. We probably need to do an activity. No matter what. Cocooning, we can get ideas from. I don't have any money. But what we're probably going to have to do is... The free option in cocooning gets you an idea and relax your stress a bit. Well, at least that cost isn't going to come again from the kids. The kids have grown up. That's not an every round cost. Friends, we can make friends with Kevin, and that would be an idea. It gives more upkeep, but kind of okay. What about in the community? I don't have any money. I do have a bit of influence. Oh, we should have scored 2 points and ticked this back one. Right, in the neighborhood watch. I don't want to take a stress to stop a burglary. What about in quarantine? We could host an online gathering. It'd be a stress, though. 2 ideas to get a relax. We can get relax from cocooning. Because we're going to have next round. We're probably not going to have all the old age rounds. Going to die. We could plan to do something on King's Day, and that would be a relax as well. We don't have to go and do it. You just check the experiences card. You get its plan and reward. You can complete it as an action. You don't have to. And I can use my cloud to do it. So buy orange clothes, have at least one short-term happiness. Done. Relax. And later on, we could choose to do pay 2 money to and 3 influence to get 2 books, a relax, and a point, and we could extend it by paying this further to get these further rewards. Probably haven't really got much intention of doing that though. So we could do St. Patrick's Day. Then we can get an idea from the care and training manual before I did that action. Pay a study to get an idea. Because all I need is 1, isn't it, for the upkeep? Pay 1, have at least 7 influence to get a certificate of adoption on my stone pet. I never took calligraphy lessons. I never finished learning how to use the piano. Okay, we've got 2 hourglasses and something in the community. So, could we prevent a fight? I would need another idea. So I got 3 study. Soccer tournament, I can't afford to enter it, unfortunately. We can go get money. Get a temp job as well as my TV hosting career. So I can't get a money from... But what if we did an activity? Because we can always do that one next time. There's the rock shelter for free. Cave exploration. And I'll get a study and a happiness. Just so I've got 4 out of 5 activities there. Augmented reality set. And then... So I don't want to take stress to do things. I can't spend 4 study to go and perform first aid, so I need to have some left over. I don't really want to take stress doing the other things. We've got 5 influence. We could do neighborhood watch. And just help some kids. It'd be a happiness. I don't think we're getting the popularity to even 3, never mind 4 or 5. Or we could just help the person that's drowning. It's a free thing to do. And maybe we could get promoted next time. And then maybe you can retire. I can't remember what's on the level 3 cards. Is the one out here? No. Probably not going to have a chance to do that. Okay, 1 thing left. don't have too short-term happiness to be friends with Aiden. Remember, they are giving us upkeep as well. No, I don't think friends the way. Don't think we want to plan anything. Well, you could get 2 ideas from planning to go to the Puppet Theatre Festival. It's maybe something we could fulfill, but I doubt it. I've got at least 4 influence. I don't think we'd go and travel to Ireland. Well, maybe I'm going to have some money next round because I had to pay for the kids growing up, didn't I? Something I could potentially do and heal some stress. But basically, we're going to die. There's no point healing any stress at this point. Unless you've gone into a thing back, we're going to get 3 stress, then 6 stress, and that's going to kill me. And we're not going to have the second old age round. Next round is the last one, I think. So let's just do happy things in the time we have left. Could try and learn how to play that piano. We might be able to have that party on King's Day. So we're going to have one fewer. We might as well cocoon when I've got money to spend and we can get some more stuff for it. Might we? They'll have another point on it, I suppose, next round. But you'll only be able to do one thing. Yeah, just do the free cocoon. Gain a stress. The free cocooning. Get me another idea. And 2 points. Because I think we're only going to have... Oh, that's 4 activities. I've still got to do a 5th. Oh no, I think we're going to lose. So that relaxes me. I think I'm going to have too many resources. I think I'm going to end up with 1 too many influence. So that's going to be a shame. So if we're not going to get promoted, I've already used my cloud. I hope an activity comes out. Maybe we should spend 2 influence to keep you safe and just not do the expensive things because I'm going to have too much influence. I think. Yeah. Okay. So community stuff. We're going to help some kids, not spend any more of anything. I think. So get a short-term happiness. That's already reset. Then you get a short-term happiness for next round. And a long-term happiness. So join the neighborhood watch. Because I was too influential at the time. And then discard that. Slide these along. Oh yeah, get 2 points. And then lose a popularity. And then... I haven't got any of that stuff in the game. Get your hourglass markers back. McLeod. And then advance the round marker. Old age, 3 stress. Lose an hourglass. Events, remove things. you can like spend to you can spend points, I think, to refresh the displays. Or we can go horse riding, and that's quite cheap. We could do at least the lowest one for free. I think I'm going to have one hourglass answer. Board game reviewer. There he is. Uh-oh, how many points did I have? I'm going to say 71. Just not my points marker. Because 71 or 72, I think. I don't think points is going to be the thing that holds us back. It's going to be the focused goal. Okay, refresh all of your things. Community, we could... Friend's car broke down. Or yard sale. Or we could discard items without penalties. Experiences. I'm not going to that festival. You could. Halloween. And friends. I don't know we're going to make any friends at this point, but we'll still refresh them. And what do we got? Let's get all these eyeglasses. Done that. Experiences, got nothing on the board. Pay upkeep costs. So we've got a study and an influence for a point. 2 hourglasses for 4 points. 2 hourglasses and a study, an idea, and a influence for 11 money. Okay. We're okay on the resources. Wouldn't have had enough to get promoted anyway. So. Oh, and then we've got to spend 6 money to get 2 happiness. So got the 75. Just to make sure don't end up with any more than these resources and we'll be fine. Could have done King's Danger action. Because basically at the start of next round, we're going to get 6 stress. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Dead. Did not do anything healthy. Like some of these have come out very late, but we did have one in the very first round. We could have taken on the snowboarding, I think. That would have got me this. This heart takes you to the same position in the next section to the left. Because resting and stuff can only rest you in the same section. You need that heart to jump back sections. But you could potentially stay alive to the very last round. If you've been very healthy. Okay, so. Since there's no more upkeep phase. Because what is the exact point of the end of the game? When's that gonna trigger? After the resolution phase. But surely if you die in the preparation phase... Surely you just die, wouldn't you, at the start of the round? You die immediately when you gain enough stress to move off the red side, complete your current action and have no more effect on the game. So yeah, you just wouldn't take part in any of the other bits. And since it's a solo game, we would just skip to the end of the game, wouldn't we? Okay, so we've got these 3 bits that I can do. I don't have many things though. So I do have 2 items. So we could potentially sell the 2 items for 5 money because we're not going to have another upkeep. So we could have a yard sale. And then we could just help the person who's drowning is 1 point. Haven't got the hourglasses to finish learning how to play the piano. Don't have. I'm missing an idea for to be best friends with Farida. That would have been 3 points. Missing influence to go and travel to the Netherlands. I've got 5 money. I mean, money does translate into points, but it's not much. 1 for 5 coins, and we could basically go horse riding as the one of the very last things we did in our life on a unicorn for 5 with the discount to get 4 points. And I think that's it. So we go through the yard sale. I can sell 2 items for 5 money, and that'll be worth a point because I won't live to see the upkeep phase. So we sold our board game collection and laptop in a yard sale at the twilight of our years. Oh, you lose a point for every desire token left on your board at the end as well. So that was the community card. We had a yard sale at the end. Refresh, life goals, refresh, get back your stuff. And then in the preparation phase, we advance to old age. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Off the end, dead, and don't participate in any of the other phases. Since I'm the only player, we'll skip to the resolution phase and stuff. And the game end, we don't have trends and mutual friends. Experiences, we don't have any desire tokens remaining. Nostalgia. What do we score for nostalgia at the end of the game? If you have tokens remaining on a realization ability card, should I have put tokens on them? I just remind myself how nostalgia cards work. It's my first time with the nostalgia bit. I almost did it. I had some good nostalgia. Put a black cube on level 1. How do you get check marks on them? If you have tokens remaining on a realization ability. Oh, so like if we'd got the stone pet and we had tokens left, the tokens count towards 5 coins for everybody. I get what you mean. I haven't got that. So goals, those would usually score you money, but score you points and stuff, but we just have to have done them. So participate in at least 5 activities. We have got horse riding, cocooning, cave exploration, a picnic, and roller skating. Raise family with a partner. Hey, we raised little Cody and Tiara. Focused, have at most 2 of each of the main resources when you die. Successful, inheritance, 1 lifetime happiness for every 5 coins you've got. I have 5 coins, so 1 more. And any other stuff for the expansions? No. We win if we get 75 points. We've got 83. So it was a little bit of a worry there at the very end. That was about to end with too much influence. We probably could, like, if I didn't have that community thing I could have switched to, we probably could have found a way to spend it. Well, I had King's Day, didn't I? Could have spent influence that way. I did have some money up for grabs. So, yeah, probably still could have done it, but there was a bit of a panic there at the end. So there we go. I didn't mean to go on and on this long, but it does, like, each of the expansions adds, like, the game doesn't get longer. I suppose it does. You've got an extra action each for these 2, and nostalgia doesn't always need actions. It's triggered by other things. But they're all cool things in themselves. And even if they weren't adding the tokens, it's just more options, isn't it? It's more things that you can think about as you're trying to go through the story of your life. So yeah, as teens, what do we do? We made friends with Farida after she found out we'd been roller skating into the picnic. Started to learn how to play the piano, and then we had a rocking New Year's party. Then in my young adult years, I got into a serious relationship very quickly with Erin. I got a job as a consultant, I think, and then I got elected mayor and visited my friend in the hospital. We started reminiscing and going to class reunions as well. Uh, oh yeah, Grandma Rosie died after we had that beach party. What a wild night that was. We went to a Renaissance fair, did some cave exploring and cocooning in our later midlife, and then joined the neighborhood watch as we entered old age. Took up horse riding, sold everything off for some cash to pass down to the kids for that extra bit of happiness. Never managed to get to King's Day, unfortunately. Cody and Tiara will have to do that in memory of me. But I did end up as a fairly respectable TV host. So there we go. We were focused, we were family oriented, and we've done it all after starting life as a child haggler. So who knows what could have become of me. But I think that's a pretty good story. And that is like, hopefully, it's been enjoyable even when I've been kind of silent trying to think of what I'm going to do. But there are loads of like little things in the middle of the game and you seeing how the story is progressing and stuff. But it is so good when you get to like look back at the end of a game at all of this stuff that you've kind of accumulated, and Pursuit of Happiness is one of the best for being able to kind of trace your path. Like, I don't think you even have to keep these cards if you don't want to, because they're not going to do anything once the one-off things have happened. But I think it's so good being able to like look back and tell that little story of your life, and it's why it's the best of these kind of games. Like, I love this theme in games of, you know, telling making up and telling a life story. And you could like, you've got to rely on cards coming out, I suppose, but you can like orient it towards yourself as well. Like I did, that is what made me lean towards reserving that board game collection. It came in really handy, but I just took it because I wanted to have a board game collection in the game, and I wanted to learn how to play the piano. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. I am really glad that at least a couple of people already have been introduced to Pursuit of Happiness. I hope you get to give it a go and you enjoy it if you can, because I think it's still fairly available. The big box wasn't too long ago. As I said, if you don't need the big box, if you want to start out with just the base game, that's all we had for several years and played it tons of times with just that. But if you do want to go into expansions, there are loads of them. There are loads of promos and mini expansions on top of that that could keep you going forever. And I think they're all in the big box. So if you find a deal on it, maybe. I'm even tempted. And the thing holding me back is I've got it all crammed into a small box. And I thought I had everything, but I now know that I'm missing one set of Kickstarter promos. Will that eat away at me, or will I learn to live with that? We'll see. I've been better at living with it. Thanks so much for being here, everyone. It would be cool if there was an option to create some custom cards, wouldn't it? Like I feel like some were like maybe Kickstarter backers, and some are obviously like little references to like some of the Kickstarter promos. Obviously got Rado there and Dice Tower on the other side. Like some of them are like in jokes and things, and there's one that's like themed to different holidays, and yeah, there's so many ideas have been put in here. And said like loads of the, I think maybe promo packs were like invested in inclusion as well, of having like non-binary characters and disabled characters and things in there. One of the child traits is the autism spectrum, on the autism spectrum, like, and it's all like mix and match. Like you can leave out anything that you don't want. Like it's all over the rules of like it's an option to, if you have that expansion, it's an option to, once you raise a family, draw a kid card. You don't have to, because it might be bad for you in the game at that point. But yeah, you don't have to include loads of the bits. Like so much of it is modular. But yeah, it'd be really cool if you could have some templates as well. Hey Sam, how's it going? Filthy Acrimony playthrough. I wish we'd done more of that. Like if that had if that had come around when we were filming Iridia, maybe there'd be 20 episodes of that as well. Because we did have a great time playing it. Just time ran out. I wish we'd done even more Iridia, really. Maybe at some point. We're talking about, like, we've got to work it around Sabrina, of course. But we're hoping at some point in the near future that we're going to record something like a big Eldritch horror or something together. And Rachel be in a video again, which she hasn't been for probably only about 9 months or something. But it'll be lovely to have her back and be playing games and stuff again. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. If you can support me on Patreon or join as a YouTube member, I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much for everyone that has, because I rely on all of that support. It's the only way that I can do this, and I would love to keep doing it for longer. I'm going to be back in pre-recorded form on Sunday. We're going to continue Kinfire Chronicles. Next week we're going to have a playthrough and an overview for the 2 new flat out games. They have a roll and write called Forage and a I stack you choose game of best buys called Honeypot, and I will be live with the next vote option. The last time I looked it was Hallertau, but that could always change. So yeah, I'll be live with something else later next week. I hope you enjoy all that, and just thank you all for being here. I will see you soon. Have lovely weekends and everything until then. And yeah, I'll see you in pre-recorded form on Sunday. Bye everyone. Bye, bye, bye.